G'day Gorgeous. I so appreciate you tuning in to the podcast that helps entrepreneurial women become a millionairess from the inside out. Right here, we are dedicated to educating women globally, including through this podcast and my financial business and life success courses. This week's podcast rolls on from last week's podcast on leadership and how to stand out in a crowded market. Today, I'm especially looking forward to talking about the 5 Millionairess secrets for standing out in a crowded marketplace as a business leader. So be sure to have your journal because I am going to share gold. This G'day Gorgeous podcast is where you're going to get raw, real and relatable stories, answers, insights, guidance and proven formulas that can help you overcome your frustrations, get out there and live the life that you truly love every single day. I'm Amanda Jane Clarkson, your host. I'm a best-selling author, inspirational speaker, entrepreneur and a world-leading financial independence and business success coach for the entrepreneurial woman who wants to release her inner millionairess. If that's you, you are on the right podcast. And of course, to find out how I can help you gain more clarity, inspiration, and certainty to create that life by design that you want, please visit me at Gday Gorgeous, Gday Gorgeous.com, or click the link in the notes below. And of course, as I said, be sure to have your journal ready and a nice cuppa. Let's jump in right now. Good morning, gorgeous butterflies. Part 2 on leadership. Today, ladies, you are definitely going to need your companion journal. It is the end of the year. If you have filled up your 2019 journal, do yourself the biggest favor and purchase your new companion journal for 2020. You are going to need it, especially if you are interested in business success, financial independence, and reaching your goals sooner. I have all of my goals in place for 2020. I have written them out. I study them. I meditate on my goals every single day. Now is the time to get yourself prepared and your diary for next year. Remember, ladies, you're a millionairess. Becoming a millionairess from the inside out. Well, that is about investing in yourself, investing in whatever it takes to get the knowledge to become the millionairess on the inside before you see the money show up in the bank account. Give me a sign if you want to see the millions flowing into your bank account. Am I in front of the right crowd or not? I hope I am. And some people get all freaking weird about money and success. However, if you're weird about money, well, we either need to change your perceptions about money, and today will help you a little bit, or you are in the wrong crowd. But I doubt that very much. I mean, who the hell doesn't want more money flowing into their bank account? But it starts with you. Invest in yourself, investing in education and investing in the tools like the journal that will help you. This is not a cost. This is an investment. I spend tens of thousands of dollars every single year on investing into my personal growth, empowerment, so that I can see more money flowing into my bank account. And that's what today is all about. Money, money, money. Kaz loves it. Today's podcast, off the back of last week's podcast on leadership. What does it take to be an amazing leader? And how do you stand out in a crowded marketplace? Oh my God. Now, if you have a business, ladies, and you are the business, or you want to have a business that brings in money, this is extremely important. And for anyone who thinks that they can break into the market, become somebody in a crowded marketplace without doing what I'm about to share with you today is dreaming. Or for those who don't work on themselves, and I saw a snippet of something that Sam wrote in her post this morning, which I'll have a look at. Most people think they know this stuff. They think they know personal empowerment. They think that they don't have to do the work on themselves, but the result will show up. And when somebody says that to me, or somebody thinks that they don't need personal mentoring or personal empowerment, it shows me instantly that they are already broke on the inside, and most definitely probably broke in the bank account. And I would look anyone in the eye and ask them, what is your net worth, when they say to me, I know this stuff. And that was what Sam was saying, that she's dedicated her time and energy to personal empowerment. And wow, congratulations, girlfriend. I love seeing posts like that, because the moment you recognize, or we recognize, that the work begins on the inside. Remember, I said it's an 80-20 rule. 80% of success, money, in business success, in life success, in every part of your life, is an inside job. 20% is your tactics and your strategies. And people are fooled every day of the week thinking that they can follow this strategy and that strategy. But if they haven't done the work on the inside, they will be spinning their wheels for years. And so today on this podcast, I'm going to share with you 5 Millionairess secrets for standing out in a crowded marketplace as a business leader. If you didn't listen to last podcast, do yourself a favor, because this rolls off the back of it, and you will absolutely want to know what I said in the last podcast, because it marries in. And so I'm going to call these the 5 S's. So write that down in your journals, ladies. Go to a page, and it could be your aha moments. I think that's gems, ideas, and new possibilities mixed with your aha moments, because this is the stuff that I'm going to share today, these 5 steps that sets apart a leader from a follower, a winner from a loser. Okay, now I'm talking about loser as in money in the bank, business losing. And believe me, I'm speaking from experience, because I have failed so many businesses. I've made so many mistakes. And that's why I get all worked up and passionate about this. But these 5 S's are the exact strategies that I live by and implement, that took me from absolutely dead broke, living off a credit card, where I started an internet business back in 2005, selling fitness equipment that I imported from China, manufactured in China, sold on the eBay platform, became a millionairess within 2 years. But from there, started educating other people and teaching them how to do the same. But let me get back to number 1 strategy. This comes hand in hand, a strategy mixed with personal empowerment. Service. Think service before money. Most people will say, how do I make money? Give me the next shiny object. I'm going to do this. I'm going to follow that person. I'm going to copy this. I'm just going to throw money here, there, and everywhere. Like, you know, people say, let's throw paint at the wall and see what sticks. I've done it myself, and rarely does it work. Give me a sign or a thumbs up if you have thrown money in the hope of making money, but you haven't thought about service, providing a loving, caring service to the people. You just want to make some money fast, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is not about being wrong or right. I've done it myself so many times, but every business has failed. In fact, to the point, the last time I did it, I invested with my husband $100,000. That is not a mistake. $100,000 on a mentor starting a business in America that folded after exactly 1 year. I wasn't in it for the right reason. Everything that could go wrong went wrong, but I knew in my heart I was doing that business to make money. We made money, but there was just this problem between Australia and America, which I'm not going to go into right now, but I've been there myself. And so service before money. The question I asked myself when I had my internet business back in 2005, selling fitness equipment on eBay, because I was a personal trainer for so many years and I knew that product inside out, I would say to myself, what is a problem, a void, or a question that I can answer to ease the pain and help other people get what they want, so that in turn I get what I want? Notice if you flip it, you ask a question, because questions are the answers. And Tony Robbins has a saying that says, the quality of your questions will determine the quality of your life. Well, I can go one step further. The quality of your questions will not only determine the quality of your life, but that will determine the quality and the amount in the bank account at the end of the day. So thinking service. How can you provide a loving service where you care for other people, helping them get what they want, so you in turn get what you want? And I'm thinking vast numbers, not just in my local area anymore. This is not 1970, 1980 anymore, where there was no internet when I was a personal trainer, and I could only service the people in my local community as a personal trainer. Now we have the internet and we can go global. So ask yourself the question, think about the service or the product that you have, and ask, how can I serve more people? How can I help other people solve their problems? How can I take the pain away? How can I answer a question? Or as I like to say, somebody's got a really bad itch, how can I soothe the pain that they feel by providing a loving, caring service? And then after some time or in time, the money will come. Because here's what I know from my own experience. The more you start to think about your purpose in life, some people might call it a mission, some people call it a calling, and you really start to open up. And there's a famous saying that goes like this, and write this down in your journal, ladies. For those who have just joined us, journal action today. Until you have a cause bigger than yourself, you cannot grow beyond yourself. And so if you're stuck spinning your wheels in your business, you want to grow it, but you feel like you're stuck and you're going nowhere fast. And I know what that feels like because I've lived it for many years. Start to think about, okay, what if I was going to service tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people? What could be possible? And then what happens from that? You might write that goal down and you might think to yourself, oh my God, how am I going to reach that? That seems so big, so daunting. And this is what I do. But then different ideas pop into your mind. You meet different people, different doors and windows of opportunity will open for you, because you're not just thinking about your daily problems, about what's going on in your life. You're starting to expand your mental capacity and think in terms of service, not just getting the money in the bank. All amazing leaders think past their problems. All amazing business leaders become bigger than their problems. I hope you're writing this down, ladies. This is gold. And I would have been in a lot less pain and probably had a lot more money in the bank if I'd have had these lessons early on in my business career. But today I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, so there are no mistakes. The thing I want to say is there are no mistakes, which takes me to point number 2. We're going to cover the 5 points today. For those beautiful ladies just joined us, you will definitely need to go back and listen to the beginning of this. It is powerful information. The 5 Millionairess secrets to standing out in a crowded market. The second thing is specialized knowledge. To have an impact on other people, to change other people's lives, to become a great leader, stand out in a crowded market, you need to have specialized knowledge and become the best that you can be in your field of expertise. Ask yourself this question: what business are you in? Then ask yourself this question: if I was to say to you, are you in the top 10 experts on a global scale for the business that you are in, and the knowledge that you have? What would you say to me? Yes or no? Do you even know? And so I have this burning desire that when I turned my attention away from myself and just beyond survival, I'm talking leadership, ladies, this is beyond survival. So the eBay business back in 2005 took us from dead broke to millionaires in the first 2 years, but then I got bored. I wanted to do something bigger and better with my life. I wanted to show other people who had been in my position what was possible. This wasn't my first stint in America. I had just come back from America where a different business had gone broke. I could do quite a couple. I could do a whole book on the 14 businesses that I've had. What a journey. Talk about different stories. But then when I decided to grow beyond myself, push my boundaries, this is what leadership is and how you stand out in a market, I needed specialized knowledge. Now, this is where most business people fail. It's not because they're not intelligent. A lot of people, from my perception and the people that I've mentored, just don't want to do the work. I don't even want to say the word lazy, because I don't think that they're lazy. I think that they just don't want to do the work on themselves. Most people want to focus on the 20%, which are the tactics and the strategies. They think they don't need the personal growth. But here's the thing. If you don't have the bandwidth and the specialized knowledge and the intelligence to grow beyond yourself, that's bigger than your town, your country, to go on a global scale, how the hell can you be in the top 10? Because world business leaders work harder on their mindset than they do their business. World leaders in your business, whatever your business is, focus on the 80%. And so this is why, this is such a powerful and golden podcast, because you've got to ask yourself the question, are you focused on the 20% like the masses? I say the masses focus on the 20%. The masters, which are you listening to this podcast, focus on the 80%. You can't be a leader in business, stand out in the crowd, unless you really have that specialized knowledge. And so you need to study, you need to learn, you need to turn what was your problem into an opportunity. Write that down for other people. So how can you share your wisdom, your gifts, your talents? For myself, and my husband was included in this, we started selling the products on eBay. We were focused on ourselves, our own problems, survival mode. When we got beyond that, the question was, how can we help other people? How can we be of service to thousands of people? But that took a different level of mental energy, because if I'd have knowed it, I would have done it. That's one of my favorite sayings. If you knowed it, you would have done it. But I didn't know it, and I didn't do it until I gained that specialized knowledge. And so I had to begin that 80% working on myself. I've got a few laughs here. Yep. And it's so true, isn't it? People say to me all the time, I don't need personal empowerment. I don't need that woo-woo stuff. I can say firsthand, hand on heart, this is not woo-woo. This is universal law. Everything that I share with you is grounded, but it is wrapped around the laws of the universe. So, for instance, if you love music, how can you teach other people? If you love speaking, how can you teach other people your craft? And whatever it is that you love, it might be gardening, it might be bringing up children or homeschooling, whatever floats your boat. But it's just that next level of thinking. But you can't share your specialized knowledge unless you have the confidence, which takes me into another one in a moment, and I'm going to share about that. But before I do, talking about specialized knowledge, this takes a real commitment to learning and growing. It takes a commitment of studying and being the best in your craft, the best in your field, one of the top 10. It takes time devoted. And so that comes back to the Live Now formula that we talk about on how to become a millionairess from the inside out, is giving yourself that gift of time, doing the lessons that I have written for you from my heart that I know would make all of you millionairesses from the inside out, because I've walked it for so many years. It's not easy. It's easier said than done, isn't it? It's not easy to sit there and do the work, but that is the commitment. And that is, to be one of the greatest leaders in your field of expertise, you need to have that commitment to doing the work, doing the writing exercises that I have given you, getting your journal out and working the 80%. Remember, ladies, if that's all you remember, 80-20 rule. The masses try and focus on the 20%. The masters are focused on the 80%. I always wanted to be a great speaker. I wanted to share my message, but I was not good at it. I was a wallflower. I was embarrassed. I was more concerned about what other people thought about me, which is my third point. To be a great leader, to share your gifts with the world, turn the millions from in here to out there in the bank account, you need to be a great speaker. How can you share your message with others if you don't have the confidence? How can you get your message out there if you have no clarity, no certainty that you are an expert at what you know? And so you can see how this rolls on. And that is one of the greatest fears in life, is speaking. And I know I've shared this with you in another story that, when somebody first said to me, you need to speak in front of not just one person, but hundreds of people, thousands of people, I nearly had a heart attack. I thought, oh my God, that is not me. I am a wallflower. I don't have I don't have the looks. I don't have the brilliance. I can't remember my words. I don't know what to say. And I was always just worried about myself. And then when my mentor said to me, Amanda, get over yourself. Nobody cares about you. They care about their problem. Remember, I said it in point number 1, service. So when I switched the focus from myself, which was my ego trying to protect me, going, don't worry about it, Amanda. You don't have to get out there and do public speaking if you don't want to. Don't worry about it. Just be happy where you are. Money's not everything. Success is not everything. The ego, or the subconscious, trying to control me, hold me back. Give me a sign if you know what I'm talking about there. I'm not the only one out there. That nagging little voice. I used to call it a little bird that sat on my shoulder going, don't do it. Stay safe. Don't let the others talk about you. Don't go out there and shine your light on other people. Stay who you are. Stick with the friends that you know. Who do you think you are? All that crap. I'm not the only one, right? But I had to break through that. And as you can see, if I didn't have the specialized knowledge, if I didn't stick to the 80% and only focus on the 20%, I would never, ever have found the courage to step out of my shell, away from my old self and onto the stage. If you want to be a world leader in your business, you want to impact other people through service, specialized knowledge, you need to learn to get your message out there. Now, I understand the stage is not for everyone, and I'm not suggesting that. I think I must have been a frustrated actress because I've grown quite fond of it. However, I am suggesting, ask yourself the question, how can I service a greater amount of people? How can I make a difference and impact other people through my business, my craft, my specialized knowledge? If it's not on the stage, how else can you do it? Is it through your own podcast? Is it through a book? Is it through a blog? Is it through social media? Is it through having another expert share the message for you? There are multiple ways. Is it through affiliates? Is it through joint ventures? I have met dozens of people along my speaking journey that cannot speak, will not speak, but they can engage other people to get the message out there for them. That is called a joint venture. And so you've got to ask yourself different questions, which goes back to me saying, if you don't focus on the 80%, which is the inner game, you would never even have the courage, let alone the know-how, how to put these deals together. And it goes back to leadership. All the top leaders in the world, they read, they are empowered, they are educated, self-educated, more so over school or university educated. Many of them are educated through the top schools and universities. However, as Jim Rohn had a famous saying, formal education will earn you an amazing living. Self-education can make you a fortune. And so they mix the two together. I was a high school dropout, a wallflower, leaving home at 16, left school at 16, but I invested so much time and energy and money into my self-education. Now, I still do a minimum of 4 to 5 hours a day. This is not to brag. I'm not saying you should do the same thing, but I'm so dedicated to my business and my craft. But what I'm more dedicated to is serving other people, showing other women how to become a millionairess from the inside out. And that is my dedication. And the days that I wake up and sometimes you just go, I just want to go to the beach. I just want to read a Mills and Boon or the Woman's Weekly or the No Idea. But I always think of other people and go, well, who needs the message today? What if I could just make an impact on somebody's life in a small way? What if I wrote a podcast that shifted somebody from fear to courage? Wow, what would that feel like? And somebody asked me the other day, they said, why don't you just read normal books? Why aren't you just a normal person? And they said to me, how many hours a day do you plug in and study your crafts? And when I told them I do up to 5 hours, they basically looked at me as if there was something wrong with me. But here was my answer. I said, not for everybody. This is not for everybody, but it is for me. I love what I do so much. I care about my mission so much, and I want to be a world leader in my craft that much that plugging in and working on myself for 5 days is nothing. It is nothing, because you think about it. If you love your music, you love your painting, you loved your craft, you love, being an amazing mum, being a teacher, running your business, maybe you're an accountant, I don't know, whatever you are, it's not work. To me, it's just who I am. And so I'm very, very careful who to take my information from. I'm very careful who to listen to. And that comes down to that 80%, not the 20%. Because when somebody can really easily pull you off track and put a thorn in your side and get you to question yourself, going, oh, maybe I'm not normal. Should I be doing something else with my time? Be very mindful and stick to the outcome that you want to achieve. And that's what I would say about speaking. If it's not you, ask yourself the question, how do I become a world leader in my business, in my craft, through service, specialized knowledge, and getting the message to tens of thousands of people, if not millions of people globally? Now, number 4, which can be a very prickly subject for the 5 S's of becoming a multimillionairess: selling. Now, ask yourself, when I said that word, what happened in your stomach? Did you go, oh, I don't like that word. I don't like it. Everybody sells. You are selling yourself to somebody every moment of the day. Your children are selling to you. The media is selling to you. When you turn on the TV or the radio or social media, somebody's always selling something. A sale is simply the art. Write this down if you're funny about sales. Selling is the art of sharing your inspiration and light with others. That's how I see it. It is an exchange of value. And here's where the real art of selling comes into. Here's where the real art of selling comes from. Being able to communicate and provide a service in terms of what is important to other people. Now, when you think about that, you can't possibly feel that it is taking something away from somebody without giving it. So, for example, when we took our education to teach other people how we became millionaires on the internet, we started teaching that for years. It's not what I do now, don't get me wrong. This was a different business of ours, which was extremely successful. It was a fair exchange of value where I could stand on stage. So I was up for the service. I had specialized knowledge and I became a speaker. And then the sale process was me communicating in terms of what was important for other people. So my message around the sale was how to change your life, how to have more time with your family, how to have less worry, how to have more freedom in your life and more choice to do the things that you love to do instead of having to do the things you don't want to do. We showed other people and helped other people how to become millionaires, or if they didn't want to become millionaires, how to have other streams of income, how to take the pressure off not worrying about the bills and the school fees and not having enough food on the table or being able to go on a holiday once a year. And so when you start to communicate in terms of what's important for other people, the sale process, the weirdness dissipates. And that is a quality of a world-class leader, to be able to communicate. So you ask yourself, who are the great communicators in the world? Who are the great leaders? We'll just take Richard Branson, for instance. What an amazing communicator. He sells in terms of what's important for other people. You know, there are so many amazing, Elon Musk always providing a service, being a great communicator, solving problems, communicating in terms of what's important for other people, filling their voids, and so they get what they want. Give me a sign if this is gold and you're understanding it and you're getting some amazing little nuggets out of it. And putting yourself in my shoes. That's what this is about. This podcast is not about Amanda Jane. This podcast is about you stepping into my shoes, stepping into the story and asking yourself, wow, how do I fit in this? What does my life demonstrate? Who am I? Am I a leader in my business or am I a follower going nowhere? You can't become successful as a leader or a communicator or a speaker or in sales unless you become more, unless you grow beyond yourself. So that is number 4. And so that's what selling is. And I hope if you got nothing else from this podcast, darling people, just that number 1 thing on sales. I cannot believe how many people freak out about selling. For me, the word is only tainted if I am doing a disservice or not in fair exchange of value. That is when that word becomes icky. But if you know you are changing people's lives, you know you are filling a void, fixing a problem, answering a question, how is that icky? Money, I haven't got any cash up here, I should have a bundle of cash here, is only energy. And energy just flows, okay? It just moves around. And so it's just that fair exchange of value. Okay, moving on to number 5 for the 5 S's of being a multimillionairess and standing out in business as a leader. Saving and investing. Now, this is what most people won't talk about in business, but leaders, I'm talking about leadership. So we're talking about service, specialized knowledge, selling from the stage, speaking, selling, now saving and investing. If you are truly a leader in business and in life and you're doing the 80%, not the 20%, the 20% just follows on from the 80%, then saving money to invest, I'm not to say leave it all in the bank, as an investment, that is the next part of becoming a leader. Because here's why. Leaders value themselves. Write that down. And they invest in themselves. So saving a portion of your income, so it goes back to paying yourself first, a minimum of 10 or 20%, and I try and push that up each month or each quarter. They invest in themselves. So ask yourself, when's the last time you invested into the 80%, apart from being in this community? What else are you spending your money on? How else are you gaining specialized knowledge? How else are you working through these modules? and growing internally so you can grow in the bank. That's what leaders do. They are constantly learning, constantly growing and evolving and saving a greater portion of their money, and then they invest in themselves and eventually into other assets that will provide an income so that they can focus on the work they were born to do. Now, for me, that is what I want to focus on for the rest of my professional life. I think about it every day. I talk about it constantly with my husband. I want to do what I love to do that bad that I've got to find a way, and I do find a way, and we have found a way. Well, for us, it's property. For other people, it's different types of investments. I'm not a finance person. I'm not a financial advisor in any way, shape, or form. I'm just sharing my story with you. But to find a way to invest our savings into an asset that will provide us an income so I can focus on what I love to do most, my business, serving other people, growing and expanding, speaking, getting my message out there, and being the best mentor that I can in my space. Now, for you, ask yourself the same question. What are you doing with your money every week? Are you investing it into yourself first? Then you invest it into other areas of your life. The bills come last. They will get paid, don't you worry, because here's the thing. Saving money helps you appreciate yourself because your self-worth is directly in proportion to your net worth. Wow. Write that down. Your self-worth is in proportion to your net worth. If you do not have that self-worth where you pay yourself first, invest into your education and your mindset growth, why would anybody else invest in your business? We're talking about business here. We're talking about leadership. Why would anybody else put their money with you if you don't put your money with you? So I value myself, and we have a budget every year that we invest in mentors, personal growth, traveling, speaking, to grow beyond ourselves, to be able to share the message so that other people invest in us as well. See how it's all a win-win. Nobody's taking anything away from anybody. It's all a win-win. That is the trait and a quality of a world leader in their business. I hope this has really helped you, ladies. I think I've covered most of it now. I've gone a little bit over time, but I think it is, super, super important to talk about money, saving and investing off the back of those 5 Millionairess points, because if you want to become a millionairess from the inside out to the bank account, I'm talking about two things here. The 80-20. There are tactics, 20%, that I'll show you, but we're talking about the 80% as well, and it comes together to form that 100%. To be a millionairess, you don't want to just be a millionairess in the bank and feel empty and have a meaningless life or an unfulfilled life, because that is not the way to go. Money in itself won't make us happy. Meaning plus money is the answer. You want to have enough money to be able to grow beyond and serve as many people as you can. And, it takes money to reach people. It takes money to grow your business. If you want a world-class business or you want a global expansion for your business, it takes money. Okay, but we've got to start here first. And as I love to say, one step at a time, one day at a time. Where you are is perfect. Begin where you are. Go back over these 5 S's that I've shared with you today, because here's what I say, and I love to say this each and every time. Nobody wakes up in the morning and wants to shrink. Nobody wakes up in the morning and wants to feel worthless and disempowered. You were not put on this earth to just survive. You were put on this earth to follow those 5 strategies that I shared with you today and shine the light not only on yourself but on others, and live the most meaningful, rewarding life that is prosperous and abundant and enriched in every way possible. So my beautiful ladies, that wraps up today's podcast. It did go on for a little bit longer, but it is New Year's Eve, and I just wanted to finish this on a high note. each and every one of you, if you don't feel like a leader right now, I see the leadership qualities within you. You've just got to mine them out. Mine them from the inside out and get out there and shine your light. And when you start to see the lights go on for other people who bloom and flourish like I get to see in this community and from the stage, that's why I love speaking, because I love to see the lights go on. I call that a spiritual currency. There are different types of money, different types of currency. For me, standing on stage or being in this community and seeing the lights go on, people expand and live their dreams is the best payment that I could ever have. And I want to say thank you for being on with me today and joining me. A happy, fabulous new year for each of you. Tomorrow marks the first day of 2020. What will it bring, ladies? Make sure you have your journal. Invest in yourself. Get your next journal for next year. You are going to be doing copious amounts of money. Copious amounts, there you go. I got money on the mind. See, Millionairess from the inside out. Copious amounts of writing to bring that fortune from within out to the world. That is a big focus. However, we do focus on the 7 areas of life, and I will be back with a rampage in the next few days, but let's think about 2020. When I get on for a rampage, probably Friday morning, we'll be talking about goal setting ready for 2020, and we are going to have a massive, abundant year together. Remember, your tribe is important. Your mastermind community is the elixir of you being able to get from where you are to where you want to be. Stay close to the women and stay close to the communities and the tribes that uplift you, never pull you down, and want your success as much as you do. Okay, my beautiful ladies, wishing you all a fabulous New Year's Eve, and I look forward to seeing you in 2020 with my roller skates on and jumping into an amazing year together. So, gorgeous people, that wraps up this week's podcast. Till next week, as again, appreciate you being here and tuning into the Gday Gorgeous podcast that helps entrepreneurial women become a millionairess from the inside out so that they can achieve financial independence and business life success. Please share this podcast with anyone you know who would benefit greatly. It was full of golden tips today, and if you know others who would love to be a millionairess as well, I am sure they would find this super empowering. Lastly, again, to find out more about what we do, who we are, and how we can help you achieve your goals, your millionairess goals, please visit gdaygorgeous.com, Gday gorgeous.com, and you can find out everything there. Till next week, be bold, be courageous, and even more fabulous. Bye for now.